Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video, I just wanted to go ahead and talk about my experience with breastfeeding and why ultimately I gave up breastfeeding. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. So I just wanted to go ahead and talk about my experience with breastfeeding. I think it's really important to talk about, but I might be a little weird. I haven't really talked to anybody about this besides my close family, but I really think it's important to talk about because I'm sure I'm not alone, and I think that if I would have seen a video like this, that maybe would have changed my mind either sooner or later, or even maybe it would have gave me a courage to talk to the pediatrician. But anyways, so after Ezra was born, he was born with jaundice. So we were required to go to the hospital. I want to say it was every day for, well, at least until the levels were at a place where they weren't worried about him anymore. So I think we were at a week, maybe a week and a half. So it all started when we went to the pediatrician. So we had to go to a hospital that was on base. That's not where I delivered Ezra. So I was already a little bit out of my comfort zone going to this hospital and seeing a doctor that I hadn't seen and at a hospital where I hadn't been. So the nurse didn't say anything about his weight. So I wasn't even thinking anything about it. I thought everything was going fine. And the doctor comes in and the first thing she asked me is, "Are you breastfeeding?" I said, "Yes." And she asked me how often he was feeding, for how long he was feeding. And then, so I told her, and she immediately came back and said, "Your baby's not thriving." And I mean, that broke my heart. Because I wanted breastfeeding to work so bad. And the way that she came into the room was so cold. And she just said, "You know, your baby's not thriving. His weight isn't where it should be." He was born 9 pounds, 1 ounce. And at that appointment, he wasn't at 9 pounds. But I wasn't worried about that because we were told that he was gonna drop weight and eventually he would get back up to his birth weight. At least by the 2-week appointment, he should be. So I realized that we were probably close to where he should be back to his birth weight, but it wasn't anything alarming. And before she had come in, Ezra, had a massive blowout. And that was before she came in. So she wanted to have me feed him, and she wanted to see how I was feeding him. And then she wanted to weigh him after. So I fed him for about 15 minutes. She came back and she weighed him and that he should be getting more. So she wanted me to try on the other side. So I said, okay. I was willing to do anything to make it work. So after I was done on that side, we went back and we weighed him. And again, it was like only 1 ounce, maybe a little bit more. And she said that he should be getting more food. So, and mind you, like, I couldn't even tell her about the blowout because, like, I was so upset and distraught. Like, the fact that he had a massive blowout could have changed his weight. We thought anyway. So after that, she said, "You know, your baby's not thriving. You should be implementing formula." And I didn't want to, but of course, I want to do anything to make sure Ezra is fed. But I was like, I don't know, embarrassed maybe, because it's like something that I should be able to do. it just kind of sucks because she was cold. And I think I put so much pressure on myself, and there's like all these people who are like, are you gonna breastfeed? You should be breastfeeding. And I felt like, well, if I have to put formula, what if this doesn't work? Like, what are all these other people gonna say? Because I have a formula fed baby. I mean, now it sounds ridiculous because he's happy and healthy. But then, like, these are the thoughts going through my head because of all the pressure that not only I put on myself, but I felt like there was on me to breastfeed. So ultimately around, I think it was 6 weeks, I think he was 6 weeks old, I just decided to stop breastfeeding altogether because I just couldn't keep up. And I felt like that pediatrician was in the back of my head, like constantly saying, your baby's not thriving, you're not feeding your baby enough. So I just thought, you know what, I'm done. So I decided to stop breastfeeding and do formula exclusive. And honestly, like, as upset as it makes me that I couldn't breastfeed, I felt a sense of relief. I felt better because I knew he would be fed and I could stop blaming myself, I think. And I had a really good support system. My husband was completely supportive of the decision, you know, because he could see how emotional I was about it and how hard it was. You know, I felt like if I stopped, that I wouldn't get that bond. So at 6 weeks, Ezra was completely switched over to formula. But I just wanted to make this video to let you know if you're struggling, you're definitely not alone. And if you have any questions you want to ask me, please feel free to reach out.